As recovery efforts are still ongoing in the Gulf Coast area of Texas and Louisiana after Hurricane Harvey.
Now here joining us this morning with the latest on Red Cross relief efforts is Tom Mooney, the chief executive of the Southwest Wisconsin chapter of the American Red Cross. Thank you again for being
thank
here.
You.
I know this is an extremely busy time. That's probably the understatement. Let's just talk about what the plan is for down in Florida when volunteers do arrive there and are in place ahead of the storm.
We're definitely trying to pre-position them. We already have 80 of our emergency response vehicles heading down, our ERVs. They're heading down as well. We're trying to get people positioned north of Miami in the areas where potentially they can get in if we have to start setting up shelters. Certainly we're watching the storm like everybody else is and where it's going to hit and the ramifications of that. We already are seeing that even up in Atlanta, they opened up the motor speedway through motorhomes and others that people are evacuating Florida. Hotels are being booked already. Flights are coming in from Florida, as you can imagine. People are evacuating. It's a very busy time right now. And even for us to be able to get our folks in, our volunteers in and pre-positioned is a challenge right now logistically, because rental cars are at a premium, you know, as you can imagine, when people land and trying to position them accordingly.
This comes, though, as you all are already on location in Texas and Louisiana for Hurricane Harvey, as well as you were telling us on the West Coast for the fires, even folks back now from the Canadian wildfires.
That's exactly right.
I mean, how thin are you?
You know, it's great, but one thing about the Red Cross is we have a robust group of volunteers, and we can pull people from a variety of different areas. We keep every day messaging and going out to our volunteers. Are you available? Can you give 2 weeks of your time? Are you available within 48 hours to be able to move? Because right now everything is very fluid, especially in Florida, and whether we can move people or not. We already have over 130 volunteers, both in Texas and some now on their way to Irma. We have over 24 volunteers now heading to Irma. So, yeah, I'm really proud of our volunteers. Our volunteers are absolutely unbelievable. The damage that they're seeing, certainly down in Texas, is beyond even things you see on the news. Once you get there, it is absolutely unbelievable is what I'm being told.
I can't even imagine. Going back to Irma, we're just watching these catastrophic, I mean, there's no other word really, images out of the Caribbean. As they prepare for that to come to Florida, what are the priorities here for your volunteers down there?
You know, certainly, you know, we got to make sure that people have the ability or the skill level, especially with shelter management, because when you start moving that many people out, hotels start getting booked up, and we have to start putting people in shelters in order for them to have a safe haven while the storm is coming, or which direction it's going to go, whether it's the eastern and western part of Florida, whether it goes right up the central part. We're also watching the Georgia and the Carolinas as well. So there's a lot to be pre-positioned. Fortunately for us, you know, again, it's much like a spider web as far as they're going to start looking at what resources we have available in Florida, in Georgia, in the Carolinas, and then we'll start supplementing with the other states.
If people want to help, they can always go to redcross.org, right?
Very much so, and if they have an interest, I know you mentioned earlier when we were chatting, you know, about what does this mean for our volunteers, and many people like to volunteer, so if they do, www.redcross.org/volunteer, and if anything, it builds up our reserves for next time. People can get in the queue, we can start training them, so if this happens again, which I hope it doesn't, it's been quite a few years since we've had so many hurricanes happen all at once, especially one right after another, but it's another way people can help.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
what
very
you
much.
do. I know
Thank you.
It's rather stressful, rather busy, so we appreciate it.
But that's what we're here for.
Right.
So.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.